Hey y'all, alright, we are going to use the figure 8 method today with a couple of different size ribbons. This is just another video on doing the large hair bows, but instead of using the boutique style method, I'm going to use the figure 8 method. I've had a few questions about that and different things, and people having trouble with creasing in the middle, and so I'm going to do two different types of crease methods, which I've used before. But anyway, the first bow we're going to do is the largest one. This is the 3-inch width ribbon, and this is cut to about 48 inches, I believe. Yeah, about 48 to 49 inches. I wouldn't go past 50. And then I also have a piece of 7/8 inch coordinating ribbon to do the knots in the middle. And then of course the barrettes. I have my thread and needle, glue gun, scissors, and definitely the alligator or the salon clip rather. And then the second ribbon I have is 2 inches, and I cut it a little past a yard, like 39 inches or so. And then I have the coordinating ribbon for the knot. Okay, so let's just get started with this, and hopefully this will help. You know, maybe some of you make the larger bows using a different method. Alright, anytime I'm making these bows, I normally, once I cut, then I'll hang the ribbon up and spray it with hairspray and stiffen it. It's so much easier to work with ribbon that is stiffened already. When it's floppy, it's really hard to work with. Okay, so we're using the figure 8 method, and I know I've done this before, and there are a lot of different videos on it. What you want to do is fold it in half, and then make a pretty visible crease in the middle. Okay, and this is such large ribbon to work with, but you just kind of have to bear with it. And then once you have your crease in the middle, I'm going to take the right hand side, and you just bring it around, and you place it over that middle part right there, just kind of making a skinny loop. You don't want to make a real fat loop. Okay, and just move this over some. And then basically you're taking your other side and you're going to bring it around. Okay, so you've got, I know it's kind of hard to see in the camera. See, all I did was you have it flat, and then you just kind of bring it and flip it over like this, if that makes sense. Okay. Oh, and you can also take the lighter and, burn your edges beforehand if you want to. Okay, and then I start on the right hand side, and you just want to find your middle point right here and then bring it to the center. And again, this ribbon is just so thick, but you just want to place it in the center there. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing with this side. Here, let me move it back. Okay, see, I'm taking the center right here, and then I'm just bringing it and overlapping about halfway. And this is the back of the bow, actually. Okay, so it looks kind of, a mess right now, but then basically, you want to make sure you got a good hold on it, and you want to flip it over to the front. Okay. Now this is where your salon clip comes in handy. Okay. Take your salon clip and you just slide it down the center. And again, this is one of those big bows. The big mega size hair bows. Now, you can see that like this side, I don't know if you can see real well, is shorter than this side. So at this point you just want to you know, adjust and, you know, pull that side down and get them even. Okay, that's kind of the key to making your loops symmetrical. Okay, so my bottom loops are pretty good there. And then I do the same thing at the top. You know, I just kind of pull this down, or, you know, scoot it over, whatever. And that's why I love the Salon clips, because that kind of helps me to hold it in place. It's kind of like an extra hand. Okay, and basically it's just adjusting. I'm just, you know, kind of adjusting here. And then especially with these big bows, I just kind of put this down and just kind of take a look and make sure that it looks like it's supposed to, you know, as far as the loops. And I'm just going to take another look here real quick. Okay, now, if I'm kind of satisfied with what I've got here, then I'm going to take my needle and thread, and this is what I do. I'm going to flip it over, and I go through the back, and I still have my Salon clip on, and I go through the center and I pull it through. Now I'm going to do the hand folding method on this one, okay, which requires me then to take off the Salon clip, and you want to make sure you're holding it in place real tight. Okay, and then I've done this before. You just kind of push down on the top, and you've got one loop, and then second loop, and then the third loop. Okay, so that's what you have so far. Okay, and that's, you know, basically what it should look like. And then I just kind of make sure, pull a little bit. Okay, then I take my thread and center it and start wrapping around. I don't know, 3 or 4 times, something like that. And I'm still holding my thumb on there just to make sure, and I'm pulling and adjusting, that sort of thing. Okay, and then once I'm pretty well satisfied with the way it looks, then I'm just going to tie off that knot in the back. Okay, and that is another way of making the big floppy bows. And with this method, you do not have a tail. Okay, the other method you have a tail down here, but with this method there is no tail. And I had gotten a comment about somebody, you know, they don't like the tail or whatever, and that, you know, this is a good method to use for that. Okay, and then I'm just going to get my French barrette. I don't at all recommend alligator clips with bows this size, but, you know, whatever your preference is. I mean, unless you get a really large alligator clip. Alright, let me reach my glue gun way over here. And I'm just gonna glue this back here. And notice, and I do this in all my videos, I do not cut my string until I glue my barrette in place. Then I go around about 3 times and pull real tight. Okay, and this is really invaluable to me, because that barrette, you know, stays in place and it doesn't come out. And then I just tie it off in the back and cut the thread. And I'm just going to get this ready for the next bow. Alright, and so you got your barrette in place. Alright, and there's the big bow. You know, and again, you know, this just takes a lot of practice. You've got to do it several times, you know, to get it the way you want it to look. Okay, and I did not spray this one with hairspray. I'm not sure why. I did the pink one, but anyway, to make the knot, I usually double my ribbon up. All right, so I just fold it in half and I cut. Okay, and then basically I do like a, you know, an awareness symbol. I've you know, if you're watching my videos for the first time, I have several where I do this. And I kind of pull this one down a little bit longer and then feed it through the back. Okay, and then I pull it like this, and then I just sort of switch it over to where now the ribbon is flat on top, if that makes sense. Okay, and then you can you know, just put a dot of glue on the top or whatever if you want, and then I just wrap it around. And glue it over the back of the barrette. And you can kind of do the lighter thing if you need to. And then I just put a little bit of glue in between, because remember there are 2 layers here. And then I just have them, you know, glued together, and I do one flap over the other, and that's it. You know, these really don't take a whole long time to make, and they look very similar to the boutique style bows, just, you know, without the tail. And then I just put my little, oops, wrong one, tension bar back in. Alright, and you know, then you just kind of reshape, and there you go. I don't use the figure 8 method a whole lot, and I generally use it with smaller bows, but it can be done, you know, with the large bows too. So that's our big mega JoJo Siwa bow. I hope I'm saying her name right. Okay, so there it is. That's the big 3-inch. Mine's a little floppy because I guess I didn't stiffen it before, but I know I did the pink ribbon. Okay, now the measurements, like I said, for this one I went a little over a yard. I think about 3 inches past a yard, which would be about 39 inches. Okay, so we're going to do this bow the same way. I'm just going to, okay, and fold it in half. Get your crease in the middle. And you could do this with 1.5-inch ribbon, 7/8 ribbon. I mean, you know, it's all depends on what size bow you want, and I'm just offering a different method here for the big bows. You know, that's why I chose to use the really big ribbon. All right, so we're going to take this side, and we're going to overlap that middle section. Okay, and the same with this one. We're going to come around and overlap in the middle, so you have kind of that, you know, that figure 8 thing going on. And then you get your middle piece and go in the center. Okay, something like that. And then this side, you're going to overlap about, I guess, halfway or so. Okay, and that's the back. And then I flip it over, kind of give it a look-see. Alright, and actually have a little bit smaller clip that works well. As you know, this one is just a little bit smaller than this one. This one comes from Hair Bow Center, and hairhardware.com I think sells the larger ones. Alright, so then I'm going to put this in the middle, and you know, do the same thing. I I kind of, you know, push my loops down to make sure that they're even. That's the most important thing. And then I do the, I always get out of camera range. All right, so I think I'm pretty well satisfied with what I've got here. Okay, and then I get my needle and thread, and I do the same thing, but I'm going to do something a little different. Some people just cannot hand fold, and for the longest time I couldn't, you know, do it, or really didn't, you know, prefer to do the hand fold method. And when you have a lot of layers, it's hard to do it as well. All right, so I'm going to stick this in the back towards the center. And my earliest videos, I did the creasing this way. All right, what I do is I go through the top, and I surround the center a couple of times, okay? And then I go through the bottom, and basically, you know, we just surround the bow with the thread and needle. And of course my thread is not real long, so so then I just start pulling and creasing. And you know, by having the Salon clip and the thread and needle, you don't have to hand fold. You know, you just use your needle and thread and your clip to, you know, to hold it to where you can just pull down, okay? And you always want to end up in the back once you're finished, once you're ready to take the Salon clip off. But just make sure you're holding it in the middle as well until it's tied off, okay? And then, you know, once you're good with what you have, and you tie it off in the back. And instead of a 3-fold crease, I mean, it's several small, you know, folds in the middle, which works just fine, okay? And so that's what you have with 2 inches, okay? It is not a real huge bow, but it's a good size, about 6 inches, yeah, a little under 6 inches, something like that. The big mega bows tend to be about 8 inches, and, you know, just regular large bows tend to be 6 to 7 inches, and then medium would be, you know, under that. All right, and so then you just want to do your barrette. So this is, you know, just an alternative folding method to the other one, the boutique style bow. If, you know, I mean, I know a lot of people apparently have trouble with that one, and this is just a different way of doing it. Anytime you use that large ribbon, that 3-inch ribbon, it's so massive to handle, and you just have to practice and get used to it. You know, I mean, there's just no magical method for it to turn out right the first time or the second time or the 10th time. It's all about practice, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I get my 7/8 coordinating ribbon, and I do my my little symbol here, and then I push this down a little bit, and I go through the middle and pull it up, and then, oh, well, what did I do? Oh, let me try that again. Goodness, I don't know what I did. I wasn't paying attention. Alright, go up through the middle, and then just, there we go. And I'll wrap it around the center. And you see, you know, even with the figure 8 method, it you know, without the tail, I mean, it looks just the same as, you know, the other one. there isn't much difference at all. And for some people, the figure 8 method is easier, and I've had some, you know, some viewers ask me, hey, can I do this bow, you know, using the figure 8 method? And I've seen one video using the 3-inch ribbon in the figure 8 method, and it wasn't a very good video at all. So you know, I'm not saying mine is fabulous by any means. I just hope that it's you know, better maybe, because you know I'm definitely not a great camera person, and I don't edit, and apparently I talk too much. Alright, so alright, so there we go. Let me see, just to give you a comparison, let me find my other little bow here. And this is one made out of 2 1/4. This is the boutique style bow with, you know, with the tail that I normally do. Okay, and then this is the figure 8 method. And I mean, you can see there's not much of a difference at all. There's just a tail, that's it. Okay, so I hope, you know, this was helpful, or, you know, give you just a different way of trying it. I have so many requests for so many different things, and I'm hoping to, you know, get around to a few other things. But this, you know, these big bows seem to be the most pressing issue, and I've had a lot of people, you know, watch the videos on these big bows. So, try to get another one up soon. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a good day.